I want to just give you a glimpse, just a brief synopsis of the history of the Tuskegee Airmen Global Academy and how all of this came about. So, Tuskegee Airmen Global Academy literally are two schools merged together. I want to make sure that I pay respect to both of those schools, Venetian Hills and E.L. Connolly Elementary School. These were two elementary schools, two small elementary schools that merged together to become one powerful, strong school, which we have today by way of Tuskegee Airmen Global Academy. Our new mascot is the eagle, and our colors are very significant: royal blue, gold, and red, which I'm wearing today. The red, of course, represents the distinguished Tuskegee Airmen and the red tails. Of course, the gold is a bit of the history from Venetian Hills. Their former colors were gold and green, and the royal blue represents some of the history from the former Connolly Elementary School, which was royal blue and gold. So that's how the colors came about. Before I start, again, I'm just so excited. You can't see it, but my heart is just dancing and jumping around on the inside, because this is the day that we've been waiting for. This is a very distinguished occasion because in most instances you're recognizing one name, one young lady, one distinguished person. But this is one of the few schools where we're representing not only a legacy, but we're representing thousands of men and women. I want to make sure I specify that. Thousands of men and women that not only represented Southwest Atlanta, but they represented our country. So if you would join me in giving a huge round of applause for a lot of our distinguished guests here now. Before I start, I want to recognize my distinguished panelists again on the stage. We have our very own Courtney English. The head man, the leader of our board. We also have Yolanda Brown. She's my immediate supervisor, so she's why I am here. Our associate superintendent. We have the board member that actually represents this school, and he looks out for the school, and he makes sure that whatever we need, we have, and that's Dr. Stephen Lee to my left. I'm also extremely happy to have Jason Estevez with us as well, board member, who also represents this school. And that is the big round of applause, our very energetic superintendent, Dr. Maria Kostafin. We have Brigadier General C. David Turner, who's sitting in the front, and he's actually the commander. And it's so ironic that not only of his connection to the Tuskegee Airmen, but also as it relates to the theme of this school, which is an aerospace and engineering school. He's a commander of the Army Corps of Engineers, David C. Turner. I want to recognize some of our partners as well. We have Comcast here, Morehouse School of Medicine, the Tuskegee Airmen Atlanta chapter. And certainly, last but not least, I also want to recognize our Atlanta City Council President Caesar Mitchell, to my right. We won't keep you long. We do have a very pretty assertive program. And upon the conclusion of the program, of course, we're going to go through a very exciting moment where we're going to leave and we're going to exit out of this gym, and we're going to finalize a ribbon cutting ceremony by cutting the ribbon in front of our marquee which represents the Tuskegee Airmen Global Academy. Before I give you just a little information, because I think it would be remiss of me not to, about the Atlanta chapter, as well as the Tuskegee Airmen, I also want to pay respects and just a brief 5 or 10 seconds moment of silence for one of the former Tuskegee Airmen that recently passed about roughly 2 or 3 weeks ago. And we recognized him before, and his last name was the name of our former school, and that's Tuskegee Airman Connolly. I want to recognize Mr. Connolly as well. So if you could just give me a brief 10 seconds moment of silence. All right, thank you. The Atlanta chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen was incorporated in Atlanta in August 1976. It is an education and community service organization dedicated to maintaining the traditions of Tuskegee Airmen and preserving the legacy of the first generation of African American military aviators of the Second World War. The Atlanta chapter, Tuskegee Airmen, reflects our cultural and our intergenerational values. Their membership includes the men and women of different races, ages, including military and civilian, veterans and non-veterans. One of their goals is to literally perpetuate the activities and achievements of those Americans who shared in the aspirations and frustrations of pioneering men and women in the Tuskegee Airmen experience of the United States Army and the United States Air Force. They also strive actively to inspire and support, listen to this piece, they also strive actively to inspire and to support minority youth to outstanding achievement and leadership in our global society. Their initiatives are for community outreach, youth programs, educational foundations, and they also collaborate with several corporations and organizations to promote careers in aviation. Again, if you would, join me in recognizing the Atlanta chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen Global Academy. At this time, I want to bring one of our very own up to the stage, and that's Miss Butler for our occasion.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Allure, and I'm in 5th grade. Today I will be saying a speech by Donna Levine. You Can Be Whatever You Want to Be by Donna Levine. There is inside you all of the potential to be whatever you want to be. All of the energy to do whatever you want to do. Imagine yourself as you would like to be, doing what you want to do. And each day, take one step towards your dream. And though at times it may seem too difficult to continue, hold on to your dream. One morning, you will awake to find that you are the person you dreamed of. Doing what you want to do simply because you have the courage to believe in your potential. And hold on to your dream.
And now coming to the stage, we have our elegant Eagles. We have our elegant Eagles coming up. And before this group starts, I also want to recognize one of our very own, our pre-K, our pre-kindergarten teacher that's been literally working with these young ladies diligently every day after school during her personal time just to make sure that they're having this experience and this exposure in our extracurricular activities.
Things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. That I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am soul inside is all light, all light, all light, yeah, all light. I am light, I am light. I am light, yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
And now we will have remarks by Dr. Stephen Lee.
Good morning. Now this is Tuskegee Airmen Global Academy. Let me try that again. Good morning. There you go. It is an honor to stand before you today to welcome you to the most. This is exciting. This is exciting. And it's not just exciting because it's in District 5, which I think is the best district in APS. Sorry, 1 through 6, but this is exciting because we are in our own community recognizing and establishing a school honoring our own people. We are connecting the past with the present in preparation for the future. And we're doing this in our own town. We're doing this in our own community with our students, some of the best students in the world. And we are exposing them with opportunity for a STEM enrichment program that's going to prepare them globally to meet the challenges of the future. I am so excited to be here. I am so happy that you are here because you make this what it is. Thank you to the community that have embraced this new philosophy. I know we have 2 schools, both with very rich histories, with E.L. Connolly and Venetian Hills, but together today we become one. We become one Tuskegee Airmen Global Academy, and we are prepared to soar and soar high. So thank you for coming, and Godspeed.
Now we'll have our board member from seat 9, Jason Estevez, followed by Dr. Kostarfin.
Good morning. Now, Principal Woods, I must commend you and your teachers because the kids, the students this morning have done an amazing job and are well behaved. I haven't heard a peep, but I do want to hear from the kids. So students from Tuskegee Airmen Global Academy, are you here this morning? Are y'all in the house? All right, I need to warm you up because I know Dr. Kostarfin is going to get you really riled up. So I wanted to make sure you got moving a little bit. It is an honor to be here this morning honoring our heroes that are near and dear to my heart because I grew up in Columbus, Georgia, right next to Fort Benning, an hour or so away from Tuskegee. And every other year we would go to Tuskegee and learn about the history and y'all's service to the country. So it's an honor for Atlanta Public Schools to be establishing a innovative STEM academy that will be upholding your legacy. So I wanted to briefly thank you for your service to our country. Thank you for the legacy you have paved for these students. And I also wanted to thank the students because I know y'all will do an amazing job upholding the legacy that our heroes have built for us. So thank you. I'm honored to be here, and I look forward to seeing great things out of the students in this room and the students of the future. Thank you so much.
And now I'd like to bring our superintendent to the stage, Dr. Maria Kostarfin.
Okay, I just want to be sure. I know I see the royal blue Warhawks, right? Because you have the blue shirts on. Do we have the the red tails and the golden thunderbolts? Are they in here too? I see one golden. Are you the little tiny one? Are you a thunderbolt baby? He's not sure. He wants to run out of the room. All right, so I'm gonna ask I need 3 volunteers of the royal blue Warhawks. Do you know what I'm going to ask you to do? Okay. Before you do it, let me just tell you, who remembers the cheer we did last time? Do you really remember it? The tag cheer? Okay. What's your name right there with the little ponytails? Come on down. I want a red tail to match my dress. So you're in the red sweatshirt. What's your name? Angel, come down. And yes, sir, what's your name? Yeah, you. Come on down. All right, so I need you to get in 3 sections. You're going to stand right there. You go down here. You get in the middle. And do you remember our tag cheer? Okay, I got 4. Okay, no, that's all right. Come down here. I'll give you an extra letter just because we're going to make this work. Right? Okay, you got to work with me, though, because I wasn't prepared for a 4th letter. All right. So you remember the T? Give us a T. No, her. Okay, you go down. Go down a little bit. All right. You're the A. Give me an A. Okay, get a pointy A. Okay. G. Oh, no. No. It went, remember, it's like a G, so you're doing like this. Do a G. Yeah, no, like under. Put that hand under. All right, give me a second here. Here we go. All right, remember, it's call and response. You got this. You got to put your hands down. Okay, ready? You got me kind of scared. Okay, here we go. Y'all know what you need to do, right? So stand up, get out of your seats so we can see you. All right, here we go. It's for the grown folks too. Feel free to jump in when the Spirit moves you. Are you ready? Give me a T. You got your T, you got your T. Give me an A. You've got your A, you've got your A. Give me a G. You've got your G, you've got your G. What's that spell? What's that spell? What's that spell? Give me an A. What's that spell? No, academy. All right, so let's get a tag. Give me my tag. Academy. See, I worked that in. I got a 4th one. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you, thank you. The Royal Blue Warhawks are amazing. I'm honored to stand here today as one of the Red Tails. It is so amazing to be an Alabamian. I was born and raised in Selma, and to be here with such unbelievable people of America. You are so extraordinary that I actually, as a, like a private pilot myself, wanted to have my own personal experience at the Tuskegee Air Force base. And so I drove over from Selma and learned to skydive on that field. And any student will tell you, my students from before, when I was a middle school teacher, we would fly over to that airport, and for those who are interested, I would, work with them, share with them everything I could think about as it related to aeronautics, which wasn't very much at all. But I did know that sitting on that field and knowing that people, great people like you, were there before us was just such an inspiration for them. I think that that America just doesn't do enough to really honor the African American contributions to our country. But I was so excited to see the African American History Museum open in Washington, D.C. this week. And so to have this ribbon cutting on the week of that opening makes me feel a lot better about the country I live in. Just a month ago, I was standing here with President Montgomery Rice from the Morehouse School of Medicine, where they gave not only $150,000 to the school, but made contributions to our STEM labs and other instructional materials and supports for the school that extend far beyond some of the partnerships we've had in other schools. And that's just a small example of how much people really care about the future of what we're doing and how much they really commit to the vision that the board has been supporting by taking actions like these so that we could have a school like the Tuskegee Airmen Global Academy. I want to say also that yes, while these young men and were fighters and bomber pilots in the nation's first black military airman piece, it is true, there were many women who were part of that. I am honored today to say that we have one such person here. She was a colonel during that time. Would you please stand, Miss Alfreda Kirksey. I also just want to honor the legacy of Mr. Norris Conley. His daughter is here with us today. Mrs. Gilliam, would you please stand and be recognized? Last but not least, I want to say thank you to the staff and the parents of the students here at TAG. I know that this work doesn't happen by accident. I want our students to know that there are many, many people who are standing behind you, cheering for you, working really hard so that you get the best education possible in Atlanta Public Schools. But your parents chose this neighborhood, they chose this school, and teachers chose this site in which to work, and we also have a principal who was more than honored and absolutely wanted to be the leader of the future design. And so I want to thank all of you for being part of that, and the biggest piece of that is indeed having a school board that supports these kinds of ideas. I know that our chair is here, Courtney English, of course, Stephen Lee, and Jason Estevez. We also have 2 other board members in the room. 3, okay, Leslie Grant, I saw Matt Westmoreland, and where's my third? Ishay, where are you? Over there, there she is, Ishay Collins. Welcome to the 3 of you as well. Thank you for being here today. All right, and I just want to say to our students, as you think back on this experience, I want you to remember that you have a responsibility. You're going to a school with legacy being built into the design. We haven't finished with the building. We haven't finished with the big ideas. There's so much more to come in the time that you're here in this building. And what I want you to know is that when you get to be older and when you get to make decisions for yourself and your family and your community, you have a responsibility to come back and give and contribute to your schools in the way that these men and women have with their legacy. So it's bigger than this moment in this ribbon cutting. It's about you making sure that you also carry the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen in your heart and in your mind as you become someone who's going to be great in a field that you love. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm looking forward to the ribbon cutting, and I just want to congratulate you and your team on a job well done.
4, 3, 2, 1.
First of all, I was born during World War II in Tuskegee. My dad is an original Tuskegee Airman. He was one of the first flight instructors that sent the Red Tails to Europe. My dad's name was Milton Pitts Crenshaw Sr. My dad is an Arkansas legend. He's from Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas. And the last 2 years of his life were spent with me in my home as I cared for him. I'm deeply honored, first of all, to be here. This is awesome, absolutely awesome. This is a tribute to men who gave their lives, their time to support the country, the United States of America. And for a school to be named after them, to support them is absolutely surreal. I'm so happy to be here.
And why it means so much to me is because my mentor when I was in the Air Force was a Tuskegee Airman. His name is Lieutenant Colonel Span Watson. He's a pilot training class. I think he's the second class that graduated from Tuskegee, 1942. And he took me on as a mentor when I was still in the Air Force. And while I was in the Air Force, he helped me along in my career. And even after I got out, he was actually the one that recommended me for my job as a jumbo jet captain with FedEx. And that's how I got the job, through the recommendation of the Tuskegee Airmen. So to give back to the legacy of Colonel Watson is only beneficial for me, the kids, and everyone else, because that's what he would have wanted.
I am the National Heritage Chairperson for Tuskegee Airmen Incorporated, which is a national organization. I am a member and on the Heritage Committee of the Atlanta chapter, Tuskegee Airmen. And my father was documented original Tuskegee Airman Norris Connolly. And he passed about a month ago. but he was very active in supporting not only the chapter and the national organization, but in supporting all of the Tuskegee Airmen to go around and talk and visit with young people to tell them about the experiences that the Tuskegee Airmen faced, how they became Tuskegee Airmen, and what their lives were like after World War II. My father was the first Tuskegee Airman to sign up. He was one of 13 men from Morehouse College that were recruited to join the Army Air Corps at the time of World War II. The 13 Morehouse men, the football team from Marsh Brown College, who were the national championships winners at that time, and members of Atlanta University and Clark College were all recruited to go to Tuskegee, Alabama, to become members of the Army Air Corps, the first. And Daddy scored the highest on all the tests. He wanted to be a pilot. He was put in charge of transporting 80 trainees from Tuskegee, Alabama to Chinook Field in Indiana, or Illinois, one of them. Anyway, he was put in charge of them because he scored so high on all the tests and because of his overall demeanor and character. When they found out after he got to Chinook that he knew how to take an engine apart and put it back together, they made him a master mechanic crew chief. He went overseas with the 99th. He trained 12 other mechanics how to take a motor apart, put it back together, how to put the parts together for the planes. They trained 137 mechanics how to fix the planes and keep them flying. When the Tuskegee Airmen got overseas and first received their planes, the planes wouldn't fly. They needed repair. They were old planes. And so the mechanics got the planes in shape so that they would fly. And they kept the planes flying, and as time went on, they were given additional planes, 7 different types of planes, the last being the famed P-57 Red Tail, that the mechanics painted the tails red so that the bombardiers would know who they were and wouldn't shoot them down. The experience of being here at the school and having this school named after the Tuskegee Airmen has just been one of the most thrilling of my father's life and mine. He had planned to attend this event, however, he wasn't able to, but his thoughts and his spirit are here with you all. This is a picture of the Tuskegee Airmen that were able to attend the Congressional Medal ceremony in Washington, D.C. My father was there. He said in one of his interviews that one of the most thrilling parts of receiving this gold medal for him was meeting General Colin Powell. He had wanted to become a pilot, but through his military experience, meeting Colin Powell just made up for everything.